Hi everybody, how are you doing and welcome to the Arch of Rozka. Today we're doing a standard video on Magic Online, as you can see. We're gonna play Monopoly Tempo. I like this version, so I thought that we might as well just play it. So this deck, this specific video is the first video in 5, hopefully. It's gonna be a friendly standard league run. With this deck. This is the deck tech and the first match. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, it would be awesome of you if you just tell me what wrong play did I do. So yeah. Now let's take a look at the deck. The deck is basically the deck is a tempo deck, and that means that it has some unblockable and evasion creatures like Mistcloaked Herald, Siren Storm Tamer, Nightfall Sprite. We've got some ways to protect them, like Dive Down and Spell Pierce and Wizard's Retort, with Merfolk Trickster to slow our opponent down and also prevent them from attacking at some occasions. It's also a fine attacker. Also we have Tempest Djinn, which is like at our top end of the curve, together with Exclusion Mage, also to slow our opponent down a little bit. We have Curious Obsession, just to draw more cards and make our small evasive creatures bigger. Curious Obsession is like one of the, if not the most important card of the deck, and it's a really good card. Most auras are really bad in constructed, also in limited, but especially in constructed because your opponent can pretty easily 2-for-1 you when you play them. But if you just but Curious Obsession is special because it lets you draw cards when the equipped creature hits. So when, for example, your Mistcloaked Herald, when you enchant your Mistcloaked Herald, you just get a 2/2 unblockable that whenever you attack, if your opponent doesn't have a removal, you draw a card. What else? We have Essence Scatter to again slow our opponent down. Chart a course, draw more cards. In the sideboard, Diamond Mare against aggressive decks, Sentinel Totem against basically any graveyard deck. We have in standard, it's mostly currently Golgari midrange, but who knows? Who knows what will hit? Like, there's some versions of there is a great Drakes also that this card is good against it. We have against Control some things. Disdainful Stroke, 2 copies of it. With 3 copies of Negate. We have 3 Syncopates. Against Tempo, we've got Sleep. Also, I use some. I also sometimes sideboard in Syncopate. And yeah, this is what we're gonna play, and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so this is match 1. If you want to support the channel and to see more videos each month, You can go to patreon.com/Archaforozka. You can find there. If you become a patron, you get a monthly video. A monthly video for each tier you get. We are not playing first, unfortunately, but this is a fine hand, so we're gonna keep it. We're playing against mono red aggro, I suppose. Siren Storm Dreamer go anyways. If we're playing against control, this is really good. And if we're playing against aggro, alright, we're playing against control. So we're just gonna draw 2 cards here. Hope it resolves. Alright, it did. Muffled Trickster is a really good card against control. You just play it on your opponent's end step. You can leave mana up, you can force them to use their counter spell on their end step, so they'll be tapped out on your turn. It's a really good card. So play Trickster. Probably should make the cards a little bit bigger. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Alright, so attack for 3. This is a pretty nice combo, I have to say. You can Exclusion Mage a creature, and then opponent counters. Okay, so it's control, not Drakes. This is good. Now I'm not going to play more creatures. This clock is fast enough, at least not now. This clock is fast enough, and I don't want to get got by Fiery Cannonade or something. So yeah, we have Essence Scatter, we have Exclusion Mage, we have a turn clock, so we don't really need to do anything else right now. Drawing some non-lands would be good. I'm just gonna say that. Yeah. Opponent Fiery Cannonade, okay. That's why I didn't play these two. That way our opponent 1 for 1 this, and not, I don't know, 2 or 3 for 1. Which is what would happen if we would play these two. So yeah. Night Ghost Pride. Opponent counters. So this means that he doesn't have a Fiery Cannonade, most likely. So I'm going to play the Exclusion Mage, hope it resolves. Pass the turn. If miss it? I hope not. If miss it would be really bad because he played this now. Oh no. Good god. Really? We draw Tempest Djinn, but I don't think it's gonna help. And Mist-Clocked Herald. Island, go. So, if Tempest Djinn survives this turn, we can attack for 8 with the Tempest Djinn, and our opponent is an 8 life, so he will have to block with the Niv Mizzet, and that is a potential way to get rid of it. It won't certainly work, but okay, resolves. Ral is at Viceroy. Okay. I'm going to sacrifice the Siren Storm Tamer to counter that. Hope he doesn't have shock, but anyways, I think it's correct to do it. Although I'm not sure. Our opponent has to pass. Spell Pierce now. Well, that's a way of getting rid. I'm going to attack our opponent. We just wanna put fast clock. But actually, yeah, let's kill Ral. Ral is a good card. Yup, opponent blocks the Tempest Djinn. Down to 7, Ral is down. And let's see what it does. Ral. Well, that's why we have Spell Pierce. Is it Gate? Passes. Curious Obsession. Okay, that's good. Attack your opponent with everything to draw an Engage or something. Always yes, always yield. Gate, Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce is worse than a Gate. That's for sure. But Steam Vents, tapped. And opponent passes. Dive Down is great. Dive Down is great because it means that Fiery Cannonade is not going to Sinister Sabotage. I guess we should see whether he taps out or not. Well, yep. Spell Pierce anyways wouldn't do anything. Opponent mills an island, okay. Spell Pierce probably wouldn't do anything anyways because our opponent just has enough lands, so that he can play basically any non-creature spell in his deck and still have 2 mana up. He has now 2 cards in his hand. I think his only ways to survive is either if he has Fiery Cannonade, or if he has a Niv Mizzet and a card draw spell, like Opt, or the Jumpstart one. Oh no. Oh, Explosion. That is not as bad. It's not good because he has now 4 cards in his hand. But it's not bad. Nightfall Sprite. Let's try to attack. Shock. Okay. Pass the turn after playing the Nightfall Sprite, I guess. Alright. Our opponent has 2 cards in his hand, now 3. Ugh, that's not good. We draw an island. Oh no. Shock. We have nothing to do, and we are stuck with no creature in our hand. Or on the battlefield, which is really bad. Opponent passes, we draw another island. Played for a potential Tempest Djinn. Not that it would matter, but who knows. Siren Stormtamer. Well, that's a reasonable draw, I guess. It's not good by any means, but what is that? Expansion to Explosion? Oh, wow. Syncopate X9. Unexpected. Pass the turn, I guess? Man, Merfolk Tricks would be really good. Of course, we're drawing islands, and more islands, and more islands, and more islands. Tempest Djinn won't help, I suppose, but it's always worth trying, right? Sure. We need a Merfolk Trickster, or whatever. Chart a course. Opponent passes. Just do. Man, that's bad. More Djinns, more Djinns, more Djinns. Syncopate, I suppose. Syncopate X8. Yep. Not gonna use the Essence Scatter, just in case he does have something that we can counter. Oh, that probably was a mistake, but I don't know. We have 21 islands. Okay, now I don't know. Now I really don't know, because alright, let it resolve, whatever. So what I thought is, maybe I should prevent him from surveilling, because surveil is good, but I guess it doesn't really matter. If we counter that and it would keep it on top as he did, we did basically nothing anyways. But if we but if he mills it, then I guess we can try to mill him out. So I don't know. Strikes, sure. I don't know whether he has other win conditions other than Trickster is great. Marvel Trickster was probably our best draw, even though I'm not sure. And Sinister Sabotage. Same argument. Your opponent has 27 cards in his deck. No, 26. He milled a Chemist's Insight. We draw Storm Tamer. Opponent. Chemist's Insight, discarding a Mountain. Okay, results. Up to 3 cards in our opponent's hand, down to 24. And we've got a Siren Storm Tamer on the battlefield, which is a creature. It's a threat. Chemist's Insight, sure. He has 22 cards in his deck, and 21. And the good news is that both Niv Mizzet and well, why not? Both Niv Mizzet and Thrall really need a lot of cards in the library to win the game. Like, Niv Mizzet now can't really kill us just with card draw. And Thrall is drawing a lot of cards and milling a lot of other cards. By the way, he milled a Mountain. And now our opponent will probably just Chemist's Insight, or not. I guess I figured out that if he does, he might just die from Million Gouts. Oh wow, it's not a Lightning Strike. Niv Mizzet. Paran. Let's try to Essence Scatter now. Island, go. Man, we're probably just dead. Shock. Okay. Hopefully he'll mill out. I don't know. Yup. Down to 14 cards in his deck. We're down to 16. We're losing this game, but I don't know. Milden Island. Curious Obsession. Great. No. Pass the turn. Our opponent has 5 cards in his hand. Now 6. Then he'll just ultimate Thrall and probably win the game. But he's gonna draw a lot of cards. This is not gonna be good for him. Alright? Sure. Let's see. He will... If he draws 5 cards, we're dead, so... I guess it doesn't really matter. And... yeah, well... Trickster. Trickster is good. So, on their upkeep, we're gonna cast Trickster. Hope he doesn't have a counterspell. That's it. We just don't want them to have a counterspell. Let's take a look at the sideboard. We're going to bring in Negates, Disdainful Strokes, oh, wow. So we're just dead, right? Yeah, we're dead. Oh, let them do it. Let them stack it and stuff. And we are dead. So sideboard. In the sideboard, syncopates, disdainful strokes, negates. That's probably all we want in because why is it so small? Why is it so small? Um, that's probably all we want because this is against aggro. This can be good, the Sentinel Totem, but we'll see if we have space for that. So I think Nightveil Sprite is actually the worst card in our deck. With the worst creature in our deck. We don't really need Essence Scatter because it does really nothing in this deck. We need to take out 3 more, so I think that Warkite Marauder is pretty bad because our opponent's only creature we know about is Niv-Mizzet, and if our opponent has Niv-Mizzet, whenever it draws a card, it just kills it and it does nothing. And that's the only card it's effective against and one more card will be an Exclusion Mage, most likely. Yeah, we'll take these out. Let's just do this. Yeah, I mean, it seems fine. To me. I don't know whether it's the right way to sideboard, but this is what I like to do in this matchup. So, yeah, we'll just admit it. And hope to deal 1 more damage to the team. Yes. This hand is bad. No action. We're not a control deck, we're a tempo deck, so no thank you. We're going to keep 6, your opponent. Mulligan's to 5. This is good. Island to the top. Our opponent. Screz to the bottom. Wow. So Island, Mistcloaked Herald, and pass. So Island, go attacking. And Storm Tamer, Mistcloaked Herald, go. Syncopate is actually pretty good in this hand. Wow. Trickster is great. Now we might just be able to win in a very short time. Opponent strikes. Lightning Strike. Well, I guess we'll just let it resolve. I don't think we should do anything about it because we have Trickster. And Syncopate and that, so... Oh. This is still here. Understand. Okay, our opponent skips a land drop. He has 4 cards in his hand. We have 2. But oh, he doesn't skip land drop. Oops. Syncopate X1. Alright, Mistcloaked Herald. Now this resolves. Our opponent has 4 cards in his hand. Curious Obsession. Wow. This is complicated. So, I guess we'll just do it. I don't know. That's why we have the dive down, right? Dive down. resolves. Now we get to attack for 4. Draw a card. Just in case it somehow survives. Curious Obsession, another one. Great. Opponent plays a land, which is really bad. We draw an island. Great. Awesome. Let's attack for 4. With the Syncopate backup. We get to draw a card. Dive Down is great. Great. Chemistry's Insight will counter. I don't want them to get too many cards in their hand. And Syncopate also sends it to exile, so this is really like the best possible card we could have at this point. Now our opponent plays a Raw. Oh, Siege Gang. Wow. It doesn't really do anything right now, but the card is good. The card is good, no doubt. Wizard's Retort. Curious Obsession, you I guess? No. Let's Curious Obsession this one. And the reason is, if your opponent has a Fiery Cannonade, you're in a good spot. Draw a bunch of cards. Play the island. Pass the turn. And I think that from now, our opponent can really do nothing. At least in this game. Sure. Sacrifices a goblin to damage to this, and then we die, and the game is over. Right? Great. Sideboard, I think we just leave it the same. I don't think that Sage Gun Commander is gonna be enough. There is a reason all of our creatures are evasive. Exclusion Mage would be bad against it. Maybe take out Exclusion Mage for a Nightfield Sprite, I guess? Or an Essence Scatter. One of these. I don't really know. I think Nightfall Sprite is better. We want as many threats as possible against control. So yeah. Let's run it like this. No action, so we'll mulligan it. We're gonna keep this. Don't mulligan to 5. Mulligans to 4. Keeps. We're gonna scry to the bottom, I think. Steam Vents tapped. Alright, Curious Obsession is great. We'll play Siren Stormtamer, pass the turn. Our opponent has 4 cards in his hand. Now 3. Just gonna attack, I think. Leave up negate in case. I don't like. Oh wow, Wizard's Retort. We can either Curious Obsession or just attack. Alright, Curious Obsession, I think. I don't really want to play Curious Obsession on the Siren Stormtamer, but I think it's correct here. Opponent shocks, so we will just negate. I mean, if he now plays another thing to counter it, then we're happy because he's down to one card in his hand. It means that expansion, okay. Didn't choose the targets yet. Expansion is a good card, no doubt. Alright, pass the turn. Our opponent has 2 cards in his hand, plays a land, so now 1 card in his hand. That's good, that's good, that's definitely good. Play the Tempest Djinn. We want as many threats as possible, especially when we can't play counterspell when we play the other one, and the other one is just extremely small. Land. Dive down. Dive down is great. So attack. Chemistry's Insight. Do we want it to resolve? I suppose not. We have the dive down to defend the Tempest Djinn, and now our opponent has 2 cards in his hand instead of 4, so that's the main reason to play it. Let's attack for 4. Mistclocked Herald. And I suppose that is it. I don't know. Let's see what our opponent does, whether he counters or not. If he does, I'm happy, to be honest. And I'm playing the Nightveil Sprite. Keeps it on top. Well, Nightveil Sprite go. Pass the turn. Field of Ruin. There is a Raw. Is it Viceroy? Then he immediately takes it down, targeting the Tempest Djinn. Yup. No thanks. Opponent passes. We draw Mistclocked Herald. I think we're just supposed to just kill Ral. So here's what we're gonna do. Attack like this. Tempest Djinn goes on Ral. Nightveil Sprite goes on our opponent. Disdainful Stroke, we want it on top, I believe. Ral is away, our opponent can come back from this position. He passes, that's great. Now we have Disdainful Stroke. Now we attack for 6. I think we want to put the island to the graveyard because this, the Tempest Djinn can anyway kill our opponent next turn, according to what we know right now. So, the only thing the island would do is to make it a little bigger, and we don't really need it. So, Chemistry's Insight. What did it discard? An island. I guess we Disdainful Stroke. I don't know. It's all up to their draw. I mean, if they draw a Raw, we're in a bad spot, right? Or not. Whew. 1-0. That was a good match. So yeah.